In this video, I'm going to give you an exercise on how you can develop your mind to the point where you can start manifesting anything that you want in your world. And this is very simple. And this is something that I did in prison. And it was something that you can do without having to go to prison, but you're going to have to discipline yourself to doing this. So I don't want you to go out of your way to do anything. I just want you to replace something that you're already doing with something else, because there's already things in your life that you're doing all day long right now, and I promise you that you're doing them, that they aren't developing you. There's something that is distracting you. It's instant gratification, whether it's scrolling through TikTok or it's something that you're doing all day that's gaining your attention, that feels good, that's very easy to do, and it makes you feel so good, and it's something that just kind of sucks you in. And this is the thing I want you to replace with it. I have something that I want you to replace that time with, because this time that you're wasting on TikTok or social media or all these instant gratification things are really, really pushing you away from your manifestations. You need to start developing this part of your mind, and I have something I want you to replace with that, because I noticed, even coming out of prison, because I was in prison a long time, when I got out, I'm like an alien. So, there wasn't a lot of social media and things like that, a lot of things getting my attention in that way. But when I got out, I got a phone, I got a computers, I got these things now, and I'm like scrolling, I caught myself starting to scroll through TikTok and, all these shorts and the social media, and they really, really have this down where they're really able to capture your attention and really make you feel good in that moment. Like, you're like, wow, this is really interesting. I'm really into this. Wow. And they get you, and before you know it, you look at your watch and 30 minutes has gone by. You're like, wow, 30 minutes of my life just went to that, and I didn't gain anything from it. So experiencing this myself, these things are really specifically designed to capture your attention. So you're really going to have to deliberately, take your attention away from these things, because attention is money. Like, attention is your success, and you need to learn to gain your attention, to capture your attention and deliberately focus those things on things that are going to develop your mind, because these things are not developing your mind. They're actually getting your attention and feeding you information and doing all the work for you, rather than you having to extract the information for yourself. And that's part of this exercise that I'm going to give you today. Is I want you to get a book or read a PDF. I want you to get a PDF or get a book, either a hard copy, paperback, anything. And I want you to replace that time that you usually spend on social media or something, whatever it is that's instant gratification, that you're spending a lot of time, hours a day or 30 minutes a day. And I want you to intentionally replace that with reading a book. Reading a book. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important that you do this, and what this is going to do, and how it's going to speed up your manifestation ability and just developing that part of your mind. All right, so when you're reading a book, when you're actually reading a book and you're going from top to bottom, from left to right, your mind is having to do the work. It's actually having to generate ideas and then extracting the information from the letters and the words and the paragraphs as you go down. So the muscle of your mind is having to work. And what this is going to do from reading books is going to develop this part of your mind to where you can generate ideas, where you can focus on things and extract ideas and capture feeling states. When you start developing this part of your mind, reading books, it's going to start developing that part of the mind where you can really start manifesting things to come into your life. You're going to have a new sense of focus in your life. It's going to change your concept of yourself. It's going to develop the muscle of the mind to be able to manifest things into your world and to visualize and to affirm. It's going to speed up all of these processes, because all this instant gratification, like going on TikTok and all these things, flipping through all these things that make you feel good, they're generating those ideas themselves and giving them to you. You're not generating your own information. That information is already being generated and being fed to you. And it's making your mind lazy, and it's actually turning you into a sleepwalker, where your mind gets so lazy that now you're not in conscious control of anything that you're doing. Now you're being controlled and directed by your external world, and you're no longer being a conscious creator. You're now a consumer and not a creator. That's what this does. This is like the turning of the tides, where the world is doing this to everyone. And it's happening more so than ever. So right now you have to gain control. You have to turn this ship around, because most people are in this state of consuming rather than creating. And when you can replace all of these instant gratification things, whatever they are, whether it's TikTok or whatever you're doing that's instant gratification, you change that, replace that with reading a book. This will change everything. This will wake you up, because now you're generating, you're now creating the words, all the ideas that you are extracting from these pages. You are creating those ideas yourself. You're generating and extracting information and picturing things yourself, because the social media is already picturing things. You're looking at it, so you're not having to picture anything. You're not developing that part of your mind where you're visualizing anything. They're visualizing for you. They're creating your world for you now. So when you change that over to books, now you're going to be creating your own visual scenes, from the book when you're extracting that information. And once you start doing this, you'll start to notice that your mind will become more developed, and you'll be able to start generating ideas, start focusing your attention on one thing for longer, enjoying meditation, enjoying difficult things. You'll be able to start conquering different things in your life, because now you're taking conscious direction and control of your mind, and you're going to be able to do more difficult things, start making more money, start having better relationships, start focusing on the things that you need to focus on, and start generating those ideas yourself, because that's what these things are doing to you. They're taking that away from you, and you're being a complete consumer rather than a creator. And when you change that over, start reading books, you're going to start being an intentional creator again. And I want you to pick books that are on self-development, books that are actually going to feed you knowledge, that to develop this part of the mind, to really get you thinking on developing yourself, like Neville Goddard, visualization. Eckhart Tolle, Joseph Murphy, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Napoleon Hill, all of these authors, or any one of them like that, are going to develop you. They're going to teach you something, as well as turn your attention to extract information yourself. So you're getting two things out of this, and it's going to speed up your manifestation. It's going to teach you to start creating yourself and extracting information. That way you can start turning yourself away from being a consumer all the time, because the world is now created this way for a reason. Like, they're trying to keep you comfortable not having anything. That's why they create all of these things, to keep you comfortable working a 9-to-5 job. So now it's your time to take back your focus, your life. Take your life back by developing the muscle of your mind and replacing your time with instant gratification. Even if it's the news, like you find yourself watching, social media, just watching these, and you have all this justification in your mind where you're like, oh, it's the news, I got to watch this because I might learn something that's going to help me or save me later. Don't do that anymore. Maybe limit your time on that, but direct most of your attention to reading books now. Do like a 75-25 split, where 25% you're still doing that. You're still doing that a little bit. Just limit your time. Take 75% of the time you spend on social media and instant gratification, and move that towards reading books. Start doing that for a few days, and you're going to start seeing the results really, really quickly. And when you start seeing the results, you're going to start wanting to do that more. And you're gonna start taking your life back and being able to control yourself. Now you're gonna say, wait a minute, no, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Now I'm getting my control back, and I like being a creator. I don't like being a consumer. I'm not gonna go that way anymore. And you're gonna start developing this part of your mind and really start waking up, like consciously start waking up and really taking control of your manifestation abilities. And that's what this is gonna do for you. And when you start doing just a few days, you'll start to see really, really drastic results, because I experienced this myself. Even though I didn't have the social media in there, I went to books and started just focusing my mind on reading books after book after book. And what this did was it developed me to a point where now I'm a creator and not a consumer. And now I can create anything that I want, because I have that ability to focus my attention on one thing for long periods of time. And this will drastically do that for you, because that consuming is really taking your attention from you, and it's robbing your ability to manifest and create and focus on this one thing. And I want that for everyone. I want everybody to overcome this and take their power back. All right, I love you guys. That's the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to give me one thing you guys are grateful for in the comment box below, and I'll see you in the next one.